Hi. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about, or this live that I'm having here, I'm going to talk about something that is very important when it comes to spiritualist, when you come to a spiritualist to do work. And the main factor that what is important to your situation. So, I want to just talk about something that kind of has been on my mind for a while, and that's because this is a situation that I've had this kind of thing in a very long time, but the chronicles of a spiritualist when it comes to dealing with clients and things like that. But this what I'm going to talk about is Saint Epedite. Now, there are times I love Saint Epedite, by the way. He's amazing. He always comes through, and I've been working with him for years. If I need something in a hurry, or there's some kind of situation that needs to be turned around quickly, I'm able to work with him, and he's able to really make some stuff move. And that's what I love about him. But one thing about Saint Epedite is that he does not play around when it comes to his payment. I think most spirits that you'd work with, they don't play around with their offerings. Their offerings, they don't play around with it. So, obviously, when you're working with a certain spirit, it's either you give them their offerings up front, or you give them that offering, the payment, after the fact. And even when they come through, you give them something just to say a thank you, because you're building a relationship with them. And with that, you are, you're able to kind of, when you go to them for things, for help, intercession, it's kind of easier because you form this relationship with them, and they do sort of, I found that they kind of help you a little bit more efficiently that way, because you've built up a friendship with them. But moving forward, what I'm going to talk about is this. If a spiritualist told you that you need to do such and such when it comes to a particular work that when you're working with them on a situation, and that spiritualist told you that you need to give an offering, do a spiritual cleansing, whatever advice that was given to you, you need to do that, because that's your end of the work. Okay? One situation I've had there is that I did a work for someone, and maybe I didn't explain everything, clearly to that person, but for the most part of it, I did this work for this person, but I also used Saint Epedite. He wasn't the only spirit that I used, but Saint Epedite was one of the spirit that I used in that particular work. Right? Because I did tell the person that they would need a road opener, they would need things to remove blockages and whatever it is, the protocol. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing of what it is I did and all of that. But for the most part of it, I gave instruction of what they need to do, and then I specifically said, after the work is done, you need to come back and give an offering after, right? Because obviously I know that part of this work, I'm going to work with Saint Epedite, and after this work is completed, whenever he comes through, basically I will have to then go back to him and give this offering, to him. Now, in saying that, this person probably got some of their the results from their work, right? Now, It may not be the full what they were expecting, but it is still you still got what you needed to get from there. Now, when it comes to Saint Expedite, okay, in particular, you have to give that particular saint that offering as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter if he came through half the way or and all of that, he came through. Okay. Now, once you give the offering, you can say, you can start up a new petition and you ask for basically the full amount. And then you look into what type of blockages that may be occurring there in that situation that you need to remove, basically, to then bring in the full effect of the full petition of what you petitioned in the first place, right? Not given the offerings and the payment that you were supposed to give when it comes to the work that you petitioned the Spirit for. These are the ways people and I'm gonna swear this is how you fuck yourself up, because you take this kind of thing for a joke, all right? And this is how you get like things like karmic debts. This is how you get like financial blockages. This is how you get bad luck, blockages, and a bunch of stuff that comes with this kind of thing. Because you will find if you're asking for money, you will find that money is just going to keep going down and down and down, right? Something is going to be coming up for you to spend that money out. Okay, so this is just pretty much not from working with me, but with any person that you're working with or any spiritual work you're doing, and then your spiritualist tells you that you need to basically give an offering, or you need to do this, you need to do that. Okay, do what you have been told. Don't try to skip steps and do what you want to do or ignore, because that is just going to put you in more issues and troubles because of the fact that you didn't listen, you didn't take that person serious, and you just want to do whatever you want to do. And in this kind of spiritual game, this kind of life, you can't do what you want to do when it's not to try to scare anybody here, but I'm just being a realist. Okay, this is not a game. So when it comes to you promising spirits in particular, you're not dealing with humans. They don't work like that on that realm. It's like they're doing something for you. This is what they require. Okay? And I don't care if it's you're praying to God, you're praying to whoever you're praying to, okay? Once you start promising, do this for me, and I will do whatever whatever it takes. That's a binding, that's a contract. Okay? When you're doing things like that, you need to be very mindful. When you're going to any type of doing those kind of things, you need to be mindful when you're praying. I don't care who you're praying to. You need to be mindful of the fact that if you're promising things, you're promising to do things, you're promising to give things, right? And then you don't, when it comes to what you need to do and you don't do it, you need to understand that in the spiritual realm, that these are contracts, right? Because a lot of people don't even know this, they don't understand this, but that is a fact. That is really a thing here, going on here. So don't petition any spirit, pray to any gods or anything like that, saying that you're gonna do this and that, and you don't do it. And then when you start to see And then when you start to see things going, haywire in your life, you're wondering why that is. So I just wanted to basically make this video to kind of shed some light on this, so that if you're working with spirits, you're working with a spiritualist, and you're doing this type of thing and you're having this type of behavior, don't do that. And understand, when you're working with Saint Expedite, you need to give that offering that was promised. Now, in a situation where I have to give that offering on your behalf, now once I've told you this is what needs to be done, at that particular point, if you don't sort of do that, that's not on me, right? That's, I'm just going to tell you that's on you, because I've already told you already. And oftentimes people will think that you're trying to scam them and all that because to get extra money. No, if that's what was needed for your situation, then that is what was needed, and you are told this from the upfront. So that's what I wanted to say with that. Namaste.